Hey you mates, right, if you haven't seen the video already, link up here and that will take you to the video of the K2 installed on here, showing you the comparison. I think we've proved the fact that the downlighter from this light here going onto the license plate doesn't put any glare over the actual lens. So I'm going to show you exactly how I fit this. This customer's bike has come in, we've done quite a lot of work to it, obviously including a dash cam on there as well, and we're just going to put this in here. I'm going to show you how it's done, so stay tuned. So first of all, just to show you the space that's behind here, so using a T30 drive bit, you come up just under here, and the two screws that go in here are, like I said, T30s and big deep shoulders on them. Now once those are out, if you hold the whole unit here and pull it back like a couple of mil, it comes off a little ledge and you can pivot this down. As you can see, there's plenty of room for that camera to fit in there. Now we know there's no wires obstructing this area we're going to drill into. We're going to put it back so we've got some stability. Make sure that the little lugs at the back are in, pushed back, and as you go up you have to pull it towards you again to get it over that ridge and push back again. Right, so what I've got here is a hole saw. It's literally 1 millimeter less in diameter than the camera itself, which makes it a really tight fit. So by drilling the hole with this and then going around with sandpaper and putting a little bit of lubricant around the camera, then you tap the camera backwards, which I'll show you now. So we want a nice straight hole. Now on the lens, I'm not even going to try and show this to you, but if you are doing this on a BMW, you'll notice they've actually got a perfectly centered point. It's like they've made it for me. It's embossed on the lens itself. So if you can't find a center, well then just make sure you get a measuring tape out and etc, and just make sure you get the center so you do a real neat job. Okay, so I'm happy with that so far. Okay, so that's gone through absolutely fine. There's no splintering or anything on there. So this is what we've done so far. And now we've got another 2 loads of plastic to go through. So there's a plastic here and there's also another plastic behind that. When the camera's actually in there, because of those 3 layers, you've got the reflector, you've got this piece of plastic just behind it, and then there's another piece of plastic behind that. It's like a double glazed effect. You've got 3 surfaces that are holding the camera in place. It won't go anywhere, so I don't even do anything on the other side. It's just literally jammed in there. I'm just making sure that as the barrel of the hole saw is coming in, it's nice and central. So we're going to use speed and like do 5 to 10 second bursts, because obviously it gets hot and we don't want to melt the reflector. You see what I'm doing there? So here we are so far. As you can see, we've got these like little melted bits and they just crumble off. We're not quite all the way through. We're through just there, as you can see. We're just going to keep on going. So there we are. The reflector's now out. And now we've still got this solid plastic behind here. If you look in there, the reflector is just inside here, so we're just going to pop this out. I've actually pushed it right to the back, so it's fine. So there's the next bit of plastic which is stuck inside here, so I'm just going to pop that back, and we still got another piece of plastic to go through. There you go, you can see it just there, it's set right back. And the hole fell inside. We're going to start just sanding this off. So I roll some sandpaper up like a cigarette. I'll show you close up in a minute exactly how good a finish it really is. So what we're going to do now, we're going to slot the camera through, see if it fits. There's no point in putting it through this way to try and find out. Like that front bit's already in quite nicely, but I can already feel some resistance on the next section in there. So what we're going to do is undo these screws again. There's the other piece of plastic. Okay, let me show you inside here. So what we're going to do now is start threading the camera cable through. We might have to take it back out again in a minute. So remember, when you start pushing this through, you want the inner writing to be at the top. So I'm pretty confident that this is going to be perfect actually, so I'm actually going to... Yeah, it is. So I'm now going to connect this all up by threading it through. I'll show you now. So what we do, we take the end of the plug, we push it through the hole we've made, and then where the indicator wires disappear, push that up through the same hole, and that comes out the top. Now what I'm going to do is pop it all back together again, making sure that the camera wire is not trapped by anything. Now the camera is sticking out a mile now. Let's screw this back up again. So what I'm using here is WD-40 high performance silicone lubricant. I'm just going to put it around the camera itself. So I'm just going to spray it into the hole. And on the camera. And now we're going to make sure it's nice and central and start pushing it back into its place. Right, so that is a very tight fit. So what I'm going to use now is a rubber mallet. Now, making sure that the cover on the lens is protected with the lens cover is on there. The actual lens is stuck back, it's recessed, so which is really good because we've got a nice proud top here. But I'm going to start tapping this in, and then when it gets a bit closer, because we don't want to hit the light, we're going to use a piece of wood across the top and tap the wood. So, just so you can see how much further it's gone in. Okay, let's just take that back a little fraction. Another look inside to make sure everything's okay. And just to show you there's no damage to the lens. I've just turned the bike on and we're trying to make sure this camera is working. Innovv K2. Ding! Now go to the app. Cameras. And the reason you can't see a rear camera is because I haven't plugged it in yet. And there it is. If I go to front, go to rear only. There we go. And it's all working. Yep, everything's working good. Camera's good. Right, so I'm going to put the bike back together again. Before I do that, have a look at the installation job I've done. I've done such a lovely, neat job to this. So I'm now going to put the back on the bike and you'll see exactly, like, it looks a bit messy like that, but it's actually a really neat job because all those wires you can see are going to be hidden underneath. But check out the DC converter, how we've put some braiding around here. I've taken the switch live on this one because the customer has a spare circuit on his CanSmart. We've put the switched live from the yellow circuit on the CanSmart. The blue circuit's going to the horn and his red and white circuits are going to his front D4s. And all of the wires going through from the front have all been wrapped up in this. There's the CanSmart wire there. Inside this harness covering here is the horn cable, the two front lights and the front camera. It's all in there. It's a very, very neat job. And even here, because this stuff, as soon as you cut it, it's susceptible to fraying at the ends. So you have to cable tie it. But then I just dropped a little bit of hot glue on the ends, so that's not going to go anywhere. Okay, now the back's on. Take a look at how it looks now. Much, much neater. Well, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you do me a favour and leave me a thumbs up? And if you can, leave me a comment. It's always good to hear from you guys. See you in the next video. Meanwhile, stay safe behind bars.